Live from Maryland, it's Toku Vlogs. Damn it, I screwed up my opening. Yes, I actually got to watch the episodes while I was on vacation. Sadly, this will not be going up until Monday. It's Friday night here because limited internet access and they can't exactly render the stuff on my laptop. So, again, sorry, but we actually saw it. And I have guests. Matt.
Hello.
And John.
How you doing?
I live here.
Now,
We wish. This is better than my room.
oh yeah. First off, Zyuohger. I have to get used to that name because I keep mentally going to Zyuohger.
Same here.
I liked it. It's a bit fast-paced, but hey, that's the state of Ghost right now, so they're kind of failing at the whole decompressed storytelling thing. Matt first saw the episode before I did, and he started off with informing me that it kind of might have been better had they delayed the Megazord thing until the second episode to help the pacing. And yeah, you're not wrong on that. That could have helped things since it was admittedly the 11 minutes in when they morphed, and then the rest.
Yeah, they could have morphed 11 minutes in. Or halfway through the episode, they do the morph, and that's all.
The second half of the episode is fight scene.
And you could have just pretty much had the fight scene, then establish living quarters or something, a base of operations.
I don't think you should have. That's something should be saved for the second episode.
In this case, yeah, because they set up story-wise that the Zoomans, the four members that were beast people, they could travel back and forth to their world, and if they had these guardian keys. And since the monsters were attacking, that closed off that route, so they wouldn't exactly have a need of a base of operations until they stranded them. But I would have kind of more focused that first half of the episode on establishing the Zuman world.
Right. I think that's the reason why that was cut was because they wanted to cram the Megazord fight in. If you remove the Megazord fight and kept the morphing battle for the later.
Yeah, the morphing battle was good. They needed just a few more minutes to really better establish that initially. Yeah. I mean, we barely got time for much characterization alongside the Red, but at least he doesn't seem to be starting off like an idiot or an asshole like the last two. Admittedly, Takahara didn't come off that way in the first episode. The first episode in Ninja was actually really good, if I'm saying that without a gun to my head, but for regular repetition, yeah. And Ninja has been pretty much slammed by everybody in this case. So it's probably going to take a few more episodes to establish more of this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, most of what we got from these characters, for the rest of them, is that, the only two that really got any characterization thus far of the Zoomans is, I think,
Leo?
Leo is pretty much the hothead who's, very emotionally open, that sort of thing. The yellow is
He's very blunt and direct.
The yellow. The yellow one is very much
the
most open one.
It seems if he has a problem with you, he'll directly state it rather than, hide that fact.
Or be snitty.
And what's the Ami or
Amu?
Amu, she seems to be the cute perky one apparently.
Yeah.
I don't like her because she's a cat though.
Although we did get some characterization with the.
They at least established that Amu's the most attuned to things happening around her, like a sixth sense, a picky sense, you could say.
By the way, I can see on the screen you're a little bit
off now. Yeah,
off now.
I was leaning back.
Yeah, they've got they basically they can sense evil or something because it's an animal instinct thing.
Yeah, because when they arrive in the Zoomans arrive in the human world and they see death and destruction in the forest they landed in on fire.
And then the bunnies run for their lives.
Yeah,
not the bunnies.
Yeah,
they'll kill people with their teeth. They got these sharp, shiny.
And the deer population will overrun our fields and eat our crops.
But also, all their tales were just whoa, there's weird shit going down. This is an evil that we've never felt before.
Yeah.
The thing is actually about the Zoom-in world, I'm not sure if we're going to be coming back to that because their portal is closed off. They might find another one, which I want to know very much. Like, where do those, because basically it's established they have like cube gateways that...
Yeah, it's like you're shutting off immediately from their home. It's like, yeah, you had a bunch of that big story CGI to set it up, and
For what it were,
props in an empty field where, they wouldn't have shooting restrictions. But you kind of wish that it was a recurring story element.
I want to know where those cubes came from. I mean, you can't just have a giant floating cube in the middle of the forest, which is apparently on a reserve, because it's apparently on a reserve. It starts out on a reserve, and
it seemed like mountains on the sides. I kind of initially thought that it might be something like the Ginga Forest in Ginga Man, or where it's an isolated, sheltered forest unknown to the world due to the magics that...
Like the Animarium from Wild Forest?
Kind of like the Animarium, yeah. But there are people that live in it and protect it, which form that show's protagonists.
I see. Okay.
But let's also talk about like how they are trying to set up, possible future conflicts or stories, because like now when
they're setting it up. It's just that they don't establish it very well.
Yeah.
it's a very
something.
episode jitters.
Yeah, it has a lot of jitters, but when I first saw the episode, like my whole concern was, is the Red this season going to be
terrible? Is he going to steal the show? And so far, the answer is he might, but
it's up in the air at this point. But at least it's like at least you don't have a clear cut answer from the first episode.
Less directly douchey.
Yeah, because
he seems to be a nice guy. He's good with kids, and
like Yamato, like
he's conscious of others, which puts him leagues ahead of Right and Takaharu.
Yeah, he at the beginning he grows up a tree to return a baby bird to an egg to its nest.
And hey, at the end of the episode, because they lost their ability to return home through this gate, he discovered that set them all up on that thing. He offered to put him up in his home, which
because it was kind of his fault, but
it was kind of owning up to his own flaws. Again, something Takaharu and Wright rarely did.
So there may be a sort of he may be a good guy, or they may go on the
may go down the dark path,
or the path of too perfect in a way.
Yeah.
So if they're good about this, they can find a good balance, because really, when you get down to one of the main things you want to get right about a series is the Red Ranger. It's Red Ranger is supposed to be like the head, the leader that they all aspire to be like, the good.
But you don't have to shove it down our throats.
Shove it down our throats.
That's what I feel a lot of people had a problem with Daigo in Kyoryuger, in that they shoved how good he was down everybody's throats,
or Nick from Mystic Force,
about how he espoused about him being the light and the
chosen one.
Yeah, because even if that character in question is like,
I mean, at least in Kyoryuger, it was unintentional. He was not the one doing it; it was the story that was doing it.
Right.
If on the possibility that the writers, the small possibility the writers see this in the future, just Takaharu, is it?
Takaharu was ninjas.
Takaharu.
Red.
Yamato's the
Yamato's the
Yamato's the new guy.
Make sure Yamato's a good leader, just not a perfect leader. Make mistakes, he owns up to them. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's what they're setting up with the elephant guy, whose name is escaping. Tusk. In that he's not exactly accepting of the situation. Instead of the normal red Oni, blue Oni thing, dynamic they have between the red and blue Rangers, they're going red Oni, green Oni.
At least for right now, because it is nice that they let the episode off not everything's wrapped up in a neat little bow. There's
so that leaves it open for future story.
Possible future conflict and stuff.
Though it may be resolved by next episode. That sort of thing.
So, Davis, we'll play a little game, a blood game, perhaps, like the villains of the season playing a game.
Yeah. They're playing a blood game. It's called Blood Gun. The villains are all... And this is a bit ironic, considering Power Rangers Ninja Steel, which is adapting to Ninja, is having the framing device of the conflict being a game, and then here comes the next Sentai, who seems to steal that right away. with the villains all being focused on this being a blood sport for them, way to relax after destroying X amount of worlds, and that they set themselves a challenge to entertain their master, which
Master Genesis.
Genesis is there's the joke, Genesis.
Yeah.
He looks like I actually like his design. It has sort of either an insect thing or a serpent thing, because that I like how
he basically from what we first see him, he's like just chilling in a chair.
Except the chair is his lower body, or what we think is his lower body.
And then when he rises up,
there's a hissing sound, and he's being detached from it.
Yeah. So actually, I've got a theory about this. In that, what we see of him in his throne room is that the throne room might be built around him. This might just be an expression of a larger entity.
Yeah, because it seems
would be all kinds of creepy.
And maybe the body we see is just like an outer avatar or something. That would actually be really cool. I like that.
I also really liked their ship, which was a giant bow and arrow.
But it also had like a dragon's head, so it's like a bow. And I thought at first when I saw it,
maybe a ceremonial arrow.
Maybe
a ceremonial arrow.
But it's the way it was shaped downward, like a Viking ship in a way. That's what I thought.
But I will say that when you guys, whoever watches this does see the episode of Zyuohger,
which will probably be before they actually watch this, considering I'm releasing it on Monday.
Right,
that's true.
After the second episode has already aired.
We actually see the new, their head boss, Master Genesis. In terms of suit design and actual practical effects, for Sentai, it's, not as elaborate as things have gotten, but it's still crazy to think about what they have to do to actually get that guy to sit up. You know what I mean?
Animatronics wise and puppetry.
Yeah, puppetry and stuff. It's just always a nice thing to see.
Yeah, you described it as H.R. Geiger like.
I like, and that's what popped in my head. Yeah, because it's just
the space jockey from Alien.
Almost, because it's the idea that there's this being sitting on a chair, and then when he stands up, he looks like there's little claw things that are sticking out, almost as if he wants to reach out, stab you, trying to pull you in some sort of insect or.
I will eat your face.
Yeah, it just looks
for science.
Oh, and also bring your quarters for the bad guys when they get defeated, because that's how they turn into giant monsters.
You said they were like the yummies.
All the minions are created from coins, that is reusing the whole yummy thing. And the coins kind of look a bit like cell medals, so I guess they're reusing the digital creation effects for O's, considering all the metal monsters. They might have
the yummy mummies. That's what I call them from O's, the yummy mummies.
They look different. Yeah, they look different from them, but I'm saying they might be recycling some of the effects work.
Oh yeah. You probably got the idea there, so it works. And I like the way they make the monsters grow by just inserting a coin in there. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a continue metal. But before we
switch over to Ghosts,
one thing I would like to comment on was that the morphed fight scene on the Megazord fight scene. I thought they were all rushed, were pretty well done, showing off what every character can do.
It just seemed like we also mentioned this earlier as we were watching. It seemed kind of convenient that they already. Knew the powers and all that.
I mean, I like the episode as much as the next set, but even I went how do you know that? I could buy them knowing how to morph, because in Sentai and stuff we are used to characters just grabbing a morpher and knowing exactly how to operate.
I mean, maybe if the buttons lit up to indicate what they should be doing.
But they made it clear that they have no idea what these are. This is brand new.
Maybe if the 4 Zyuohger Sentai members already had these powers, had already been trained as they were established to be guardians of this transportation cube. Except they don't get their powers any earlier than Yamato does, so Yamato should be the inexperienced one.
Where did they get their gun swords from?
Where did they draw the gun swords from?
Okay, and also where did the Red get his sword from? Although that sword was pretty freaking cool, so
it's a chain sword basically. And chain swords are always awesome.
Freaking awesome.
He just whips that enemy he's just get the hell out of here, man.
I mean, some of it can be can be justified as intuitiveness, instincts. Hell, they have an instant power-up arm weapon form called Instincts Awakened. But there's only so much you can do that with stuff that they look at it and, what am I supposed to do with this? To it that is problematic with the story. So it's a good outing, not a great outing. And we needed a great outing after Ninja because it was bad. There is no getting around that.
I was really surprised with the fact that they actually that when they told me about the numbers for Ninja, and I was like, when you did the comparisons of the previous seasons, how well they did, I was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is bad.
5.4 billion yen.
Which is basically 55 million in US.
Around that much, yes.
And that's
when Go Busters, which started this tangent of devolving Sentai, no matter what you think about it, was 9. Tokuger was underestimations again for Sentai sales, was 9. Hyoryuger was around 14 billion yen.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It made more than Gokaiger did, and Gokaiger was a big seller with all the Ranger keys and how affordable they were.
Yeah,
I guess you could say they were going off the dinosaur nostalgia.
So before we switch over to Ghost, before we switch over to Ghost, fuck Ninja.
Yeah, it made total 5.4 billion, and it's expected for the year to go up to 9 billion, and that extra 3 and 3.6 is expected to be just Zyuohger's toy sales. So you will get more than half again. They're expecting more than half again what Ninja made in the first third of Zyuohger's run.
So in total, and this is one final thing that I really hope they don't do, because this is just one trend I'm really sick of in TV and Sentai. Like, don't do what Wild Force or Gal Ranger did. Don't, please, for the love of God, don't do the humans are bad things, so you must not fight for them. Please don't do that. Just rise above it. Don't be, just please don't.
Say that there are bad things, but there are good things too. Actually, address and show that instead of straw manning it. But we don't. We also have we invented peanut butter.
You can't deny that. We invented peanut butter and we invented pornography. One of the greatest creations of all mankind.
Oh, no, you are wrong. We invented pizza, my good sir. That is the proof that we are the best humans.
Plus, we don't crap in the woods and eat our own young. Zoom in. I bet you haven't listened about that.
No, I said the peanut butter thing because all my pets have loved peanut butter.
So, Kamen Rider Ghost.
Yes, I've been watching along with these vlogs. Matt saw the first episode. John has not seen it at all.
I've seen the first episode. Then I just stopped.
Okay, I saw up to episode 12, but then other things got in the way. I just have yet to get caught back up again.
My mistake. That's what you guys told me.
Or I should have been more clear in the first place, but.
Sorry. So
essentially, we have 3 different opinions on what the episode was like.
Pretty much, it was focused around the character conflicts of Akari and Onari that are continuing with this whole science versus mysticism thing, and that paralleling the discourse between Newton and Himiko, which we've been alluded to for a few episodes now, in that they're kind of oil and water personalities with how they dig into each other and how their personal beliefs and experiences are contrasting. And yeah, it's because Himiko is the magical girl and Newton is the scientist.
That sounds like a sitcom right there.
Yeah.
One's a scientist, the other's a magical girl.
Can this relationship be saved?
Tune in next time on CBS.
I thought it would be ABC.
Oh,
does anybody watch CBS besides for Supergirl?
I don't watch NCIS anymore, so no. NCIS started to die for me when Ziva left.
Toku vlogs, everybody, where we talk about NCIS.
It's an establishing tangent. But yeah, this is against the B and C plots of the 9th Ganma being upgraded to being super powerful by Igor using a Ganma icon now to transform into that Ghost Parka form, which is interesting that he does it with a gunmetal gray version of the Mega Uloader to do it, which is actually pretty interesting and pretty innovative since he's established to be the scientist Ganma, that he backwards engineered this transformation device like the Riders to create more powerful versions of the powered-up Ganma without going to the mega-sized Ganma.
Yeah, it basically establishes that he is a significant threat.
So, Foot Soldier, Garbed Ganma, General Ganma, Garbed General Ganma.
Now, I wanted to mention something before we continue. Like, I know I missed a few episodes, but alongside with like other spoilers and stuff that I come across and whatnot, after jumping from 12 to 18, it really doesn't feel like I missed a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that, or
you've missed the acquisition of a few Ganma, few Ghost icons, and Aran becoming Necrom. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, but
and nothing essential story material aside from learning a little bit more about Makoto's experiences in the Ganma world and how he and Kanan were taken in by the Ganma royal family, and we only really got that confirmed this episode with the flashbacks. I mean, it's been alluded to that Aran and Makoto have a previous relationship, and he had a relationship with the Ganma world, but it's not exactly elaborating on anything, and that's been one of the problems of Ghost. It's not taking
the time to elaborate on what it
says, mostly fight scenes.
Like, it says stuff, but then it doesn't really want to stick around and elaborate on the details.
Yeah. I mean, even with Drive, and even when I thought early on, it was just like, it was giving away too much early on. Even that, it still laid foundations for future stuff.
Yeah, it's like coming back to something they could spend a bit more time on and not like have 2 or 3 fight scenes in a episode.
Yeah, but like I want to say so. I mentioned this when we were watching it, but look at this Aran guy. Like, he's all like tough and brooding, and then like he's looking at all like the people smiling, almost like, what are these things you call smiles? What is this smiling human doing over here? Stop. Like,
what is this thing you call love?
And,
what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
No more.
But like Spectre's sister Kanan, like, is just like all like going to Aran, like, man, you used to be scary. Now you're just like almost like you want to ruffle his hair. Like, look how scary you think you are. Like, I don't think what I like. Sorry.
I really hope that the home video exclusive episode explains what the hell's going on with Aran and his supposedly divided loyalties.
Like, one thing I did like that I wanted to mention, like seeing Khan and Aran like interact with each other, like just like him looking at Takoyaki and going, "Is that an icon? You ate it!" Like being all like baffled. It, like, even though it wasn't exactly like this, I just immediately thought of Jack and Carly from 5Ds, like when they went to the amusement park and Jack was just like not having any fun that day. He was just like, this thing you call fun, I hate it.
And I think the icon thing is weird.
Yeah.
Eating an icon thing and being surprised at that is a bit weird, considering his when he uses the main Necrom icon, it eventually dries out and depowers, and to repower it, he consumes other Ganma.
Yeah. So he does? That's kind of brutal.
Yeah. It's like to rehydrate himself.
It's like,
he eats his own
moisturize me.
I have this isn't my brand. I have special eyes. Look with your special eyes. My brand gobbles up the Ganma.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
His own people.
Yeah.
Is he?
Well,
that was Takara's response, except more vitriolic, and it's like, dude, their lives mean nothing.
Like, dude, the hell, man.
Ew,
But-
that's just cold.
But on
Yeah.
his Auron's possible split loyalties, one thing that came to my mind while I was watching the episode was the reason why he took over Spectre and he's just what did you do to my friend? He says in the episode that he's somehow 150 years old, which is pretty ludicrous. But if that was the case, and
Well, he's a spirit.
yeah, he is a spirit, but it's entirely possible that when Makoto and Kana arrived in the Gano world, whether he knew it himself or not, he probably saw them as these are the only he didn't call them friends, but rather these are the only people that I actually like. So when Makoto he sees him betraying him and acting all different, he goes, "The hell did you do to Takeru? You and your stupid friendship speeches."
Yeah, except as he knows about Kanan, then who or what turned Kanan into a Ganma icon?
I'm betting it's probably their boss or some other force in the Ganma world, because it's been shown that turning something into an icon is not an easy feat, and to turn an entirely perfectly healthy human into a tiny little eyeball.
Well, those were the heroic icons. That was capturing a dead spirit
Exactly.
through people who
I'm just saying,
resonated with their souls.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's taking a living thing that's perfectly fine and somehow crushing into an icon, which was established to be this, for heroic spirits and stuff. So I'm guessing it's their king or something like that, because Auron's a prince.
Yeah, and we haven't been established that there's the big bad boss showing up eventually. Then again, Thane Camus is supposed to be in Ghost soon. I'm so excited for that.
Who? Oh, Thane.
He was the antagonist of Zero Black Blood.
Who? What?
I would say with a name like Thane Camus, that's you're born to do nothing but play bad guy roles for the rest of your life.
That's pretty. Is that the actor's name? Thane Collins?
Thane Camus, yeah.
Is that Japanese name?
He is a white guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got a white guy.
And progress marches on. In Toku.
I think he's Japanese native, actually.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool though.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
What else?
And he plays pretty good villain roles, so I'm actually pretty curious to what he showed up on it. And it's continuing the trend with between Garo and Toei's live-action series is that one or the other proves to be a starting point or jumping on point for their careers, either a milestone or where they get started. Kohei Murakami, it showed up later on in an episode of Garo Makai Senki. Tsukasa Masahiro Inoue, Decade, was the main villain of Garo Goldstorm.
Which I heard he was really good in.
Yes, I've been saying he was really good in it.
Yeah, I already seen
Rei Fujita as Rei Suzumura, starting off as Kibazaki in Fies.
Right.
The list just goes on.
But what else was I going to say? Oh, let's talk about how in the recent episode of Ghost, Makari was kind of a little badass, trying to stand up to the powered up general,
He's the little ghost guy, right? The little ghost guy thing.
No.
Onari is was the priest.
I don't know.
Akari was the girl that.
Oh, Akari is the girl.
I thought you meant the little floating.
I know.
Yeah.
Yursen. No, but Akari was just, I feel really stepped up this episode.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, was it stupid to go up against a guy who could easily kill you with nothing but what amounts to a ghost spray vacuum cleaner thingy?
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to believe in your inventions that much to do that. And mainly that was built up from the last episode where she did the same thing, except here her device worked. It would have worked in the last episode had the fog the knife Gamma generated not screwed with the magnetic field to throw it off course, because obviously to affect ghosts like she does, what her devices do, they have to play with energy fields.
Which is kind of funny.
And energy fields are affected by magnetism.
Which is funny because
it's like she's inventing the proton pack without the nuclear accelerator.
like know a thing or two about like what if you believe in that sort of thing, like apparently ghosts in the real world, like they actually have what I'm trying to say is
they screw with magnetic
yeah,
fields.
they screw with magnetic fields and stuff, and usually those biggest like way to tell if a ghost is there is if you use like some sort of form of magnetism or at least what I'm saying is like ghosts isn't like just pulling like stuff out of thin air, like this is like a thing that has existed in the like they're messing with.
Yeah, it's like you're accounting for all other magnetic disturbances. Something's happening here that can't be explained
by
natural things as we can quantify them. So
exactly.
Next logical step is things that can't easily be explained.
Right. You know, like Sherlock says, whatever, like you do.
When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable. When you eliminate the impossible,
when you eliminate the possible, whatever remains, no matter improbable, must be the truth.
Because which is something I wish like anyways, it's a discussion for another time. But
which is kind of the logic I've been kind of running with to kind of condemn Akari on the normal side. As I told you guys when she started out, she was completely. You need empirical evidence for something to exist. So anything that doesn't exist, anything that is purported to happen without any proof cannot exist, like ghosts, spirits, religion.
Yeah. Oh, and also Onari, like, dude.
And, Onari.
Like, he got my respect.
He took a beating for her
He took us, like...
A knife to the back.
He took a ghost knife to the back, and, like, he got his soul taken for a time being. Granted, everything, he got it back, but... It was like the symbolic.
It's like their relationship is of cats and dogs, oil and water.
Yeah.
They
hate each other, but they know
they don't hate each other. They're just very adherent to their beliefs. But over the show, it's shown more and more that they
ship.
Yeah, we're kind of beginning to ship the two.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, it takes a pretty gutsy. Even though like they were both friends, so he would have done it anyway. It really says a lot. Where like I still argue with you on a constant basis, but I'm still willing to jump in front of do the only thing.
Take a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and even I who had only seen that guy once, and that was in the first episode. Even I was just like, ooh,
it's like, ooh, dude.
I was like, whoa. I actually thought they were going to kill off one of the main characters. I was like, oh, gutsy.
The thing is, they did that in the first episode. So.
Oh yeah. But he came back. He's still around.
And it was established last episode. The knife strikes only force the spirit out of the body. It doesn't actually kill them to take it.
It forces them out after they give one final little speech.
Yeah.
As rules of TV.
Rule of CD. So, another good episode, still failing at really laying the groundwork for the fucking story arc, which I'm starting to get sick of. Then again, Drive spun its wheels for its first 20 episodes.
But then, like, from what I hear, that, like, if you got past the first 20 episodes, suddenly, like, out of nowhere, things started, like, picking up.
But if nearly half the series
it's like this.
If nearly half the series is problematic or bad or not really doing what it should be, there's something wrong with your show you need to seek it to fix.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, totally agree.
And I will admit that, even though I thought Drive was pretty okay for its that was kind of thing. It was just like Drive in that first was just okay with no real direction where it was going. And this one, it kind of has an idea, but it's not telling us anything. What it seems, how should
I put this?
Bright Mutes set up in the first episode.
Why the hell is your third rider's backstory on the Blu-ray release and not actually in the main show?
Yeah, that's you can't. I mean, they even Drive did that. They laid it out almost like about nearly first.
They had the episode 0 thing, but that came with the crossover movie.
But they even explained it well in the main.
You didn't need episode 0 to really establish
that. That was just a bonus release. That
was sort of getting episode 0 was a bonus treat.
A bonus to actually see all of it, and we'd seen the important parts of it before.
Yeah, you only got it. It was the way you do a supplementary material.
Supplementary material as Drive used it was just to something else that we already knew of in the show.
Yeah. So we don't need. So basically, if you're going to not explain it in the show, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yep.
No.
So basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So even though I haven't really seen any episodes up to this point, I can fully agree with that. And yeah, I think this is pretty pushing the. I think this is kind of pushing the whole. It gets good because a lot of people tell me Drive got good after episode 20. I thought it was just good enough. I didn't really see. I mean, I had problems with them like going too much with the character revelations that I thought could have been better served. But yeah, but now
I wanted to add on to that.
He's at the Nero stuff.
Yeah. I wanted to add one more thing to that. So that whole "it gets good" excuse. Sometimes that actually does work because I was like.
Sometimes it works as like with Drive, the early stuff pays off later.
Yeah, or like what I was telling about Hunter x Hunter the other day, like yesterday, Davis.
Yes.
Like, I will admit, the first 25 episodes or so, like they're legitimately like they're good, but like nothing that like if you can stick it out, like even though it's a shonen series and there's like a lot of episodes, it pays off immensely. But in this case, when you only have like 50 or 40 some episodes,
you feel like if they continue this, it's like
if we continue this like year after year, people are gonna get sick of it. You know what I mean?
And the problem with Ghost is you're waiting so long to really give us something tangible to it. People are either not gonna wait for the payoff, or they're gonna find the payoff so lacking and disappointing because it's not been properly seeded.
This is kind of why I dropped off with Legend of Korra. I mean, yeah, season 3 pretty much season 3 fixed the problems that I heard, and you know what? Good on that. I'm glad.
I totally respect that.
Yeah, and like season 2 pretty much was just season 1 was decent, but had some pretty much had the 13 episode problem. But season 2 pretty much just made me just hate the character and made me really just dislike the main character. Made me just
I got that for the first season.
Yeah, it just made me just think, why should I continue with this? Why should I continue onward if you're not going to give me your all and your best in the second season?
But also,
that's in second seasons where you really just are supposed to look over the flaws of the first season and address them.
Best way to put Ghost in right now, it's almost as if you have a friend who keeps saying, "I got a secret. I can't tell you the secret just yet, but I got a secret." And then he keeps mentioning that he has this secret over and over again.
And he starts hinting at it.
Like you get sick and tired of him not saying.
And then you just, I don't care anymore.
Like at a certain point, you just go, you say it, and it better be freaking good. But at this point,
your expectations are so high or so lowered that you're not influenced by it anymore. So have they actually addressed the whole thing with Makoto and the Gamma world and how Ken all did that before he got taken over? There would be more tangible emotion behind it aside from, oh no, this old friend we barely saw anything of, aside from him being an asshole unjustifiably, because aside from, you're not really getting the pathos past series have gotten.
Yeah,
with their events.
We got the heart, definitely, but not the,
I mean, Takeru already earned his credit as a common writer. It's just, the show is not helping hold him up to that when it can't focus on telling a story over the fight scenes.
Right. Which is, almost like a weird thing that's going on in Toku these days. What is with the overabundance in fight scenes?
Yeah, you're when you have a reduced budget, you're supposed to dial back on the fight scenes.
You don't answer you don't answer putting out a fire by throwing more fire at it.
Yeah.
It's
you admittedly have to pay the actor. You're already paying the actors you get on the show, so why not use them?
Yeah.
Instead of 3 fight scenes, make it 2 short exchanges at that,
or just one big fight scene.
Or hell. If they're already stuck in the arc and some change story thing, so why not start actually making it short fights, near the beginning of the episode, story, cliffhanger fight that concludes at the beginning of the next episode, and then have the next episode again focused on story and fulfilling that story, and then big final battle. That's how O's did it. That's how Double often did it. Decade often did it, and I'm not sure about Blade Through Kiva because I've not watched all of Blade Through Kiva. But that was a recurring thing in Phi is most recent one I watched. It admittedly liked to conclude battles at the end of an episode, but in such a way that they had to deal with the fallout on it of one in the next episode when it was in the middle of an arc story. And I can say Ryuki, Agito, and Kuga like to do that as well with its arc stories. Or at least continued on enough in the middle of them that, well, we need more of that again, I guess. Not just shove it all in there. Let it breathe. It seems like that's the bit.
Let it breathe. Let it it's never letting us. It's like
and this has been popping up since Gaim, but Gaim at least had the issue of most of its story being either. Well, it was all serialized. It was all ongoing and building off of each other. It was, even though most of the episodes weren't in the normal arc structure, but more of them standalone or multi-episode story arcs. So I think Gaim might have set a bad precedent there that they can do that.
It's like we're getting Ghost gave us a nice, delicious steak to chew on, but it's never giving us a chance to chew on that steak and let it digest its flavors because they keep throwing other random shit in our direction.
It's like a steak that's cooked too much where it's too rubbery and you're just chewing and chewing and chewing and it's just you can't swallow. That's kind of how I.
Let's go
food analogies.
By the way, I just make a Kamen Rider Chef series where they're just. I know.
Gordon Ramsay's is a big boss.
That would actually.
You call this a Rider belt?
But we already had the food roids.
Yeah, well.
What collectible gimmick would they be able to do with food now?
Squid.
Snack treats.
Okay.
Hockey.
Hockey, yeah.
That would actually be a cool. Hockey spears. That would actually be cool.
Okay. I think we'll wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll try and have my of the week vlog up at the normal time. Bye.
Nice to meet you.
See ya.